Good morning, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chutinan Sukkua, a fourth-year medical student from Prince of Songkla University, and today I would like to show you my study on cannabis use and health consequences among undergraduate students after 1 year medical cannabis legalization. Cannabis is a psychoactive substance which significantly impacts both physical and mental health. In 2022, Thailand has legalized medical cannabis to promote economic and medical benefits. University students is one of the most vulnerable group for the substance use. So therefore, our study aims to investigate cannabis use in behaviors and related health consequences and harms to others from cannabis use 1 year after the medical legalization. We conducted an online survey across 17 universities, included public, private, and vocational institutions from all 5 regions of Thailand using self-responded questionnaire. Descriptive statistics were used to describe cannabis use behavior patterns, and health consequences. From the total sample of 2,420 students with an 84% response rate, 15.4% of students reported using cannabis, which significantly higher among males compared to females. More than half of males initiated cannabis use during their early to mid-adolescence, or the age of 13 to 18 years, which was earlier than female who initiated during their late adolescence to to early adulthood, between the age of 19 to 25. The most common three reasons for initiation in male were novelty seeking, sleep aid, and peer influence, while stress reduction also commonly reported in female. While most students reported recreational use, only 14% reported the use due to the medical purposes, and 12.5% used directly due to the legalization. Cannabis was consumed primarily in food and beverage form, followed closely by flowers and leaves. Among users, common health effects included palpitation, hallucination of paranoid, and depression. About 25% reported lower study performance, increased relationship problems, engagement of illegal activity, increased self-harm or suicidal thought, and a traffic accident. While in non-users also experienced indirect consequences, one-third of them reported disturbance from cannabis smoke, and another one-third was fear of cannabis users. Some even experienced aggression and urgent need to take care of the cannabis users. Moreover, traffic accidents among non-users were 10 times higher than in cannabis users. Only 1 year after the legalization, our study reported moderate to high rate of cannabis use among university students, particularly males. Most of them consume cannabis-contained food and drinks and primarily used for recreational purposes. Almost half of users reported physical or mental problems or poorer performance, while almost half of non-users had some negative impact from other cannabis users. Compared to the previous study in 2019, cannabis use rate in undergraduate students increased in two folds from 8% to 15.4% 1 year after the legalization. Although the legalization aims to increase health benefit, we found most students used for recreational use through cannabis smoke, food, and drinks. Not only the low use of medical purposes, we also found negative impact on health and well-being among both users and non-users, university students. Therefore, we strongly recommend that education and appropriate intervention to prohibit recreational use should be urgently considered. And also, cannabis-contained food and beverages sales must be prohibited. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Very nice presentation. I have a question, whether you look at the old user and the new users, because the onset of cannabis use is actually more than half of the user started before the legalization. Like, did you look at the new user, like the proportion of the new user?
In this study, we used the question on the lifetime cannabis use rate, and also we compare to the previous study on the lifetime cannabis use rate in 2019.
Yeah, it would be interesting to stratify that, like the old user and the new users. Yeah.
Very interesting data. Wow. Do you have any chance to look at the difference between the regions of the country?
Also, we have the data about the difference between regions because we collect the data from all 5 regions in Thailand, but we didn't show in this presentation today. Yeah.
I think this is really interesting study. Do you mind telling me more about the cannabis use? Like, are they using it in terms of like the purely use or combination in some kind of food with a cigarette or some kind of thing?
Okay, so the form that of cannabis use is mostly in form of containing in food and drinks, and also like flowers or leaves, and also in university students that we have surveyed, they use with combination of smoking and alcohol, and also there are some numbers that use cannabis alone.
Can the result of your study be uh, like to encourage not to use cannabis or maybe illegal, not legally, or what?
I mean, do you mean can we encourage the students not to use?
Or even to the government that is not good
Ah,
for the
okay.
health?
So um, we really want that outcome. We gather the information of how much it influence, how much consequences is happening right now, and we strongly recommend that the government need to reconsider the policy to like give more intense protocol to protect our child and adolescents, and a more appropriate protocol for our country before it's causing a much bigger consequences to our country.
Thank you. Such an interesting topic.